Hi, it's Chip Holmes with another episode of the Contemplative Christ Follower. Today we're going to talk a little bit about getting from the head to the heart. So, contemplation is a work that gets the truth to circulate between those two venues. It's a place where we experience union and intimacy and rest. The practices are not the key, and I think that's what we have to understand. Whether it's through Lectio or centering prayer or the Jesus prayer or whatever we do, those practices may come, they may go, they may morph together, but the key is it's a surrender to your presence where we are allowing you to work in us, where you are the one who is doing the work, and it's simply us that have practices that facilitate that work. Now, what I would say in our practices is there's a balance between silence and meditation in some way. You may, again, there are a myriad of different practices, but in some way you're balancing silence and meditation. I come from a background where my view was if I could study enough, I would be fine. I could become a good Christian. And I don't blame anyone for that. I don't blame any movement for that. I don't blame any person for that. It's just what I began to believe, that if I could memorize enough scripture, that if I could get scripture in the right place, that if I could put together commentaries, that if I could understand the Bible, then I would be good. And in reality, I found out it didn't sanctify me anymore. Knowing a lot about the Bible didn't sanctify me anymore. Now, the simple thing is, and what some contemplatives would say is, well, just surrender yourself completely to silence. But I think there's a challenge in that because I also don't think silence alone is enough. The Hebrew concept of meditation, and let me be really careful with this because we talk a lot about Bible study, but studying the Bible for the sake of the Bible is not necessarily going to have any impact on our life. What the scripture challenges us to do is to meditate, to chew on it, to process it, to work through it in our mind. And in my past, I would say, well, if I study enough, but that never worked. In order to get it from the head to the heart, which is the key here, we need to meditate, which means to chew on that text, to engage the mind, but at the same time to allow it to get from the head to the heart. In essence, to read with the heart. So silence and meditation are complementary, not oppositional. Now, I'm going to say this, silence alone, because some would say just be silent, just be still before God. It can lead to delusion because if we believe there is some level of truth, we've got to engage that truth as well. So silence alone can lead to delusion, but meditation as an exercise of study, like to understand the text, simply generates facts. I sat with someone the other day and they were talking about an individual who's constantly in Bible study, but he said his challenge to her was, but what's the takeaway? What is it that you want to get to? So we need to meditate on scripture. We don't bypass the head, but we need to get this from the head to the heart. And it's not enough to have an intellectual understanding to get there. A man by the name of David Benner said this, and I couldn't say it better, so I'm going to quote it. Silence quiets our spirit and deepens our awareness of God and ourselves. But in the absence of the word, the scripture, silence becomes an empty void, a place of presence to self that is not anchored in presence to God. I could not say that better. So here's my challenge. You want to get this from the head to the heart. Don't worry so much about, I'm practicing this, I'm doing the other thing. Worry about what you're doing that puts yourself in the presence of God, where you receive his truth and allow him, like you read it with the heart. That's the key. You allow him to take it from the head to the heart, whether it's the Gospels, whether it's daily Bible readings, whether it's what you're reading from a devotional perspective. Let it get from the head to your heart. And I pray a blessing on you in getting this from the head to the heart and becoming who he wants you to be. God bless you.